are definitely going to be in the thick of things, meaning that we're dealing with lots of rain coming in. Because of this, the potential for flooding is out there. We do have a flood watch. We can see this down off towards Savannah, where they've been dealing with a lot of rain there. Charleston, Hatteras. Look as we go further inland, though. Lynchburg, you're going to be in on this, around Charlotte, Greensboro as well. This goes right in through your Friday. So just don't think of this as a coastal thing, right? No, inland. Look at this. Asheville, about 2 to 3 inches before it's all said and done, right through your Saturday. And this is rain still to come. But of course, we do look along the coast here, and that's where we're seeing the worst of it. Look at that, about 8 to 12 inches, and we could see maybe even higher amounts locally in some of these spots. So it is really going to be a dangerous situation coming to you as we go through the next several days. We've already been in the thick of things, and we are not out of it quite yet. So through your tomorrow morning, we can see a high risk for Myrtle Beach and also Wilmington. The surrounding areas, yes, we could be dealing with that flash flooding too, but it is going to be really life-threatening as we're looking at this around Fayetteville, around Wilmington. We can see this back off towards Raleigh as well. It's likely that we will see that flash flooding as we look at Charlotte, around Roanoke as well. And then even where you're seeing some of those greens, we will be dealing with that flash flooding. The potential is there, unfortunately. Also, the potential for some tornadoes. We're talking about a torcon over the next 2 days. So for your today, Myrtle Beach all the way up towards Nags Head, yes, we do have that potential there. Looks like on that torcon, we're looking at a 2. Yes, the numbers are low, but they're not no. So you definitely have to keep your eyes peeled. And I would say and suggest, make sure you know where you're going to go if you do get that tornado warning. And it's not just for today. We have this for tomorrow as well. And we kind of up the ante a little bit as we head towards tomorrow, because we can see torcon of 3. This is for Norfolk down off towards New Bern as well. So where you're seeing those reds, know where you're going to go with those alerts and know how to get those alerts as well. Very life-saving. Now, and speaking of life-saving, you definitely want to save your life with the flash flooding, because it is going to be possible. So Friday morning into your Saturday morning, look at these areas. Atlanta, yeah, you're going to be in on this. There's a possibility that we could see some flash flooding down off towards Macon, up towards Wilmington, Hatteras, around Raleigh, Charlotte. That's where it's going to be more likely that we will see it. And then we talk about the fact that we have those rivers that are nice and swollen at this point. And I really wouldn't say nice, because this is not a good thing. Again, they're overflowing their banks. As of now, we can see major flooding as the purple coloring. We can see this, those purple triangles, I should say. But check this out as I put this into motion here. Look at the forecast. So even if we don't have the rivers now, we can see more of these purple triangles really popping up across the Carolinas, down off towards Florida as well. And also we have to talk about that storm surge potential. So we do have that rise above normally dry ground. We can see about 2 to 4 feet, Jordan, around Myrtle Beach, and we can see Cape Fear 1 to 3, 1 to 2. So this is going to be a problem that we have to watch along the coast as well.
Well, you know what? We got some
its way in here as well. So let's get down to it, delve into it, because the heavy rain and flood reports, oh yeah, it's real and alive here across the Northeast. And this is what we had, and we were going to continue to monitor this, especially as we watch Debbie work its way in here. But as of now, we're looking okay. We'll definitely take that around Philly, around D.C. at this point. Further to the north go, we do see plenty of moisture, though, around Boston right now. Portland, you're getting in on pockets of moderate to heavy rain coming in across the area. So the water vapor, mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. We see some dry times at this point where you're seeing some of those oranges. Unfortunately, not going to last long, because again, we will start to see those changes from Debbie coming in here. So early to midweek, we have this disturbance that's going to continue to move along the jet stream. There's Debbie, and Debbie is slowly going to move along the southeast coast here. You can start to see it move inland, and we'll start to see that moisture more off towards the north and east. So remember, we've already been dealing with a lot of moisture. We're going to add to that, and that's going to definitely pose a problem for us as we continue to have that tropical moisture push on off towards the north. So we can expect some very heavy rain from D.C. down off towards Richmond. In Roanoke, you're going to be in on this as well. Remember, the soils are already saturated, so that's going to be a problem. It can't hold anymore, so that's going to lead, of course, to some flash flooding. So we can see through your tomorrow morning, this back off towards the Norfolk. It looks like it's going to be a little bit worse further to the south you go, but around Ocean City. We can see this around Philly as well, Atlantic City, well, the worst of it, I will say. But this goes all the way up towards Providence, where we will have that flash flooding problem. And then even as we head into your Friday as well, again, further to the north, the south, I should say, it will be more likely that we will see the flash flooding problems.
Well,
back to America's Morning Headquarters. headquarters, and we're going to be dealing with some traveling conditions and concerns for today, especially when we look at the big board. Not too bad. We do have red, though, right around Boston, so there is a delay there. You definitely want to call ahead, see if anything's going to be canceled across the area. Elsewhere, we're looking at the greens, but with that said, I would just watch this board because it's going to change as the day goes on. Yeah, look at this. So we could see some major delays around Raleigh as we go throughout the day due to that rain. And again, all this is courtesy of Debbie. Look at Charleston. We could have the rain and the wind coming in, so some major delays there. Savannah, some moderate delays, and Tampa, some delays as well. So again, just call ahead, and even as we head over towards D.C., we could see some delays there as well. We're going to continue to monitor what we have going on in terms of Debbie, and we can see not moving very quickly at all, and this is where it poses a problem. Never want anything to kind of slow down and stall out, but we just don't have those steering currents as of now. So we're seeing this around Jacksonville. We're seeing this around Charleston right now, the rain coming in just to the south of Raleigh. Those outer rain bands have been posing a problem, and we can see the thunderstorm activity offshore in that band that's going to hit Wilmington before it's all said and done. So just to take that into consideration, know what you're in for as we go throughout the day. That's why we're here, to let you know what you're in for, because we could be seeing rounds of heavy rain, life-threatening flooding, and those quick spin-ups are going to be possible as well. Whenever we talk about tropical landfalling systems, yes, we do have that potential. And even if they haven't made landfall, those outer rain bands, those pose a problem for you. So we can see all that rain along the I-95 corridor, not just staying down off towards the south. No, this thing is on the move. It will be working its way on off to the north and east. And we've already been dealing with thunderstorm issues across this area that put down a lot of rain. And we're going to see more rain because of Debbie. So increasing rain from Debbie, we will see locally heavy downpours. And of course, because of all this rain, we're saturated. Flooding is possible. So this is what we're looking like as we head toward your tomorrow. Any type of improvements? Not really. We're going to be watching this because Debbie's not really on the move so much, right? Still going to be along the east coast there. It's going to be making its way a little bit further inland around the mid-Atlantic before it's all said and done. So yes, we could be dealing with those delays down off towards Orlando, once again up towards Boston. So take that into consideration. But hitting the roads for your tomorrow, more of the same, just like for your today around the I-95 corridor, around the 81 corridor, even along 80 as well. If you're headed over towards New York, up towards Albany, 90 is going to be rough. We will see rounds of rain. And once again, Jordan, we will see that threat for some flooding out there.
Yeah, and you know what?
America's Morning headquarters, and we're talking all things Debbie at this point, which is a tropical storm. This is the latest that we have on Debbie. 45-mile-an-hour winds. It is moving to the east at about 5 miles an hour. So that is very slow movement that we're seeing with Debbie at this point. And this is located about 65 miles south-southeast of Charleston, South Carolina. We're going to be talking to Jim Cantori pretty soon out there in Charleston. But all in all, Debbie's been posing some problems for us. We've been watching those power outages, and yes, we still do have a lot with customers without the power. In Florida, 43,000, close to 44,000. In Georgia, about a little over 4,000. And in South Carolina, close to 2,000 without the power. So it has been a real bad go of things. We've been watching for these alerts that we have out there, tropical storm warnings. So we have the winds that will continue to pick up as well. Those tropical storm warnings are going to continue for Charleston up towards Myrtle Beach as well. And we can see it kind of move a little bit further off towards the interior as well, not just right there along the coast. We're also watching that tropical storm watch up towards Morehead City too. So when we talk about the tropical storm force winds, they extend outward about 175 miles and 75 miles from the center, I should say. So this is the forecast cone. It is a wide cone, right? But when we track the center, that means that the impacts will be far and wide, not just to the center. We see that we could possibly see some strengthening before it actually makes landfall around South Carolina as we head into late tonight into your early tomorrow. So make sure you keep it tuned here, keep you updated on this situation. But we can see that swirly motion, that counterclockwise spin with this area of low pressure, of course. This is Debbie, and it continues to bring those outer bands. And those outer bands are really the ones that have been a big problem with this. And we could be seeing some tornadoes spin up before it's all said and done. Of course, we'll see those water spouts as well. And we have the winds that will continue to pick up as we go throughout the day. Right now, the highest wind that I'm seeing comes with Savannah that gusts up to about 22 miles an hour. We're seeing Charleston about 23. So that's going to be the scenario. But remember, these winds will continue to pick up as we go through the rest rest of your today. Now look at what we have over the past 72 hours. So this is over the past 72 hours. Remember, we're not even close to being done with Debbie, so we're going to add more onto this before it's all said and done. We can see the heaviest is between Savannah and also Charleston. We're looking over a foot there, and we could pick up possibly maybe even another foot in some spots before it's all said and done. So we look at the top rain reports here in Summerville, South Carolina. I don't know if you want to be the winner, but unfortunately you have the highest total at this point, close to 20 inches before it's all said and done, Jordan. So yeah, Debbie so far has really been a rainmaker, so to speak. I would actually think that that would be the calling card before it's all said and done.
Oh yeah, of course, and we knew that kind of going into it. This was going to be the biggest problem, the amount of rain.
Welcome back to America's Morning headquarters, and our virtual view technology takes us to Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's actually a good reminder that tropical storms can have a major impact miles away from the coast. It's a great start to the day here in Queen City. You can see we're going to start to see some changes, though. The chances for thunderstorms and heavy rain, they're going to ramp up with a flood watch. We have that going into effect as we go in through the overnight time frame. So yeah, you start to see that rain really coming down across the area, and it will be heavy at times. So take that into consideration. Reason being is that we are watching Debbie. Yes, Tropical Storm Debbie is going to pose a problem. Already been seeing a lot of rain in a lot of spots out there, but we will have more rain before it's all said and done. So right through your Saturday, you can see the areas there in the yellow. That's where we're looking at about maybe 4 to 5 inches around Gastonia. We can see this down off towards Rock Hill as well. And then we slide a little bit further on off towards the east here, and look what we have around North Carolina. We're looking in the oranges here, about 5 to 7 inches before it's all said and done. Concord, Monroe, you are going to be in on this. Let's start to time this out for you as we look at the rain, as we look at the wind, as we go through time in Charlotte. Yes, it really starts to pick up and ramp up as we go through your Thursday morning and as we go through the day on your Thursday, and then the rain, the wind will start to ramp back down as we head into a Thursday night into your Friday. With that said, we still have some reds on the map, right? So this is where we're going to start to see some heavier rain really coming in. So up to about 8 to 10 inches, possibly maybe even a foot in some locally as we go through time here. So again, this is right through your Saturday, and we're looking at places like Raleigh that we could pick up maybe about 8 to 10 inches before it's all said and done. Just to the south of Greenville, that will be the scenario. So this is your radar as of now. We can see some rain trying to punch in here. Again, those outer rain bands are going to continue to work their way inland. So Raleigh, you're on the drier side right now, but changes are coming to you. So take that into consideration. Don't just think that this is a coastal thing. That's the thing now. With all this climate change, things can, the impacts really go farther inland. And Greensboro, you're going to be getting in on that rain before it's all said and done too. We'll see this over towards Concord. Raleigh, we're looking at this at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Chapel Hill, you'll be on the wet side of things as well. And this is what we're talking about, these tropical downpours. So that's that heavy rain that's going to be coming in. Not going to be for a good day at all. If you're able to just kind of stay in and chill, that's going to be the best thing for you. Keep it tuned to the Weather Channel. But if you have to be out and about, and just know that those windshield wipers are going to be on full blast most of the time. We'll see this continuing into your Thursday and your Thursday evening as well. Not only are we going to be dealing with the rain, but we're also going to be dealing with the wind as well. You saw all those pinks, right? So that wind is really going to be ramping up before it's all said and done too. And still right through your Saturday, they're the local higher amounts that I'm talking about. We can see some of those pinks in there. It is going to be a doozy of rain still to come right through your Saturday, Jordan, again along the coast, but also further inland you go as well.
All right, we're going to head further to the north and talk about...
And thank you for tuning in to America's Morning headquarters. If you're just joining us, let's get the latest. And if you've been with us, we appreciate that. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Debbie. We can see this about 45 miles an hour right now. It is moving to the east at about 5 miles an hour, and it's located about 65 miles southeast of Charleston, South Carolina at this point, moving very slowly. As we continue to monitor this as we go through the next several days, no, we're not done quite yet, but yes, we are still tracking some power outages for Florida. We're looking at about a little over 43,000 customers without power. Look at Georgia, close to 4,000 now. That's upped the ante since the last time I showed you this. And also around South Carolina, close to 2,000 customers without power. We have Tropical Storm Debbie and dropping some alerts out there. We have some yellows, we have some reds. The reds, tropical storm warning. So that's for Charleston. We can see this around Myrtle Beach as well, up towards Wilmington, and even tropical storm watches. We're going to continue to watch that. So not just rain that Debbie's doing, but again, we do have plenty of wind, and that's just going to continue to expand. When we talk about the wind, the tropical storm force winds extend out about 175 miles from the center. Let's track this for you, because as we go in through this evening and into your early morning before it actually makes a second landfall, yeah, this could could strengthen a little bit before it's all said and done. And then you can see that move on off towards the north and east. So yes, the mid-Atlantic, you are going to be in on this. The northeast, you're going to be getting in on the moisture from Debbie as well, and also some of the wind. Let's stick with that moisture as of now because we're still seeing some rain and the outer rain bands affecting around Jacksonville, but also just to the south of Raleigh at this point. And where you're looking at those rain bands to the south of Raleigh, that's where we do have the problematic issues there, meaning that we could be dealing with some tornadoes out there before it's all said and done. When we talk about tropical systems that make landfall and then the outer rain bands as well, yes, we could be seeing that. Those water spouts, they're going to be coming inland, and that's when we're going to be dealing with the tornado. Right now, we're seeing winds gusting up to about 22 miles an hour in Savannah, 23 in Charleston. And remember, these are just going to continue to pick up the winds before it's all said and done. Over the past 72 hours, lots of rain has been falling between Savannah and also Charleston. That's where you've been seeing the heaviest rain in the pink there, so over a foot. And we could be seeing more rain on top of this before it's all said and done. Hence, flash flood warnings. And we do have flood watches out there. So that means, yes, the potential for flooding is there right in through your Friday from Savannah up towards Lynchburg. So all the areas here shaded in the green coloring. Speaking of the green coloring, no, it's not along the coast here. I should say just along the coast. We have it farther into the inland as well. So Asheville, you're going to be affected, around Augusta as well. But of course, the heaviest rain really going to be along the coast here. We can see this around Wilmington, again around Myrtle Beach. Jordan.
Well, what about the travel? Thanks. That we've got some travel.